With just 4 days until the midterm elections, Baltimore Votes, a nonpartisan group of community leaders, is spearheading an entirely new way of getting voters to the polls. They are throwing a party. Here to tell us more about parties at the polls are Barbara Shapiro and Sam Novi. Welcome, you two.
Thank you. It was good to be with you.
This sounds like my type of voting. I really am excited about this. What exactly is parties at the polls?
Sure. So parties at the polls, the way it works is a neighborhood leader steps up. They say, I'm going to have a party at my polling place on election day. Then they flyer the neighborhood ahead of time, tell folks, invite people to the party. And then a DJ comes on election day. There's usually a food truck, some kind of children's activity like face painting or a moon bounce. And they make the polling place feel welcoming, and more people come out on election day and have a great time, a great experience.
So how did this even come about? Like, how did you come up with the concept?
It's being done all over the country, but I had a light bulb go off in my head, which happens every once in a while. And I realized after watching a lot of TV that, and reading in the papers, that we have to have people to vote. They don't realize how wonderful the opportunity is. A lot of them are intimidated. They don't understand about going to the polls. They're afraid they're going to make a mistake. And I contacted Sam. And this is what he does for a living, getting people to come to the polls. And I said, I have an idea. Suppose we have a party at the polls.
Yeah.
And with that, we met a lot of people, talked to a lot of people, got a lot of people who were very interested to contribute money and also who wanted to have a party at a poll. And Sam and his team did a fantastic job of getting all these people together. Yeah. And we've been in touch with Jeannie Howe, who has helped us get entertainers at the polls. So there'll be rap singers and they'll be different at each poll.
That's what I was going to ask you, how you go about planning all of this and getting the polling place on board too, because they might say this is a lot of stuff going on. Where exactly are you
So
having
people have been incredibly supportive and welcoming all across the city. You know, there's just such a deep commitment to inclusion that we found in a lot of communities, and so either the school or the church or the firehouse, you ask them for permission. Usually work with the neighborhood association or with a local social action group of some kind to host the party itself. And then it's off to the races. So.
And how do you think it's going to impact voter turnout or people voting this time of year?
You know.
Yeah, so there's a number of really excellent new research out there showing that when you do make the polling location more welcoming, when you make it more celebratory, the participation rate for the entire community, the entire precinct, goes up by 4 to 6%. So we're really excited that that more and more Baltimoreans will be coming out to vote this year.
And I also think that it's going to change the feeling in neighborhoods, get people to know their neighbors. They'll see them at the party. They'll see them and they'll be having fun. And I think this could change a lot of things that are going wrong in our city, reduce crime, reduce shooting. When you know somebody and they smile at you and you remember them, it makes a difference.
Well, I also think about, too, if you're doing this with, kids and moon bounces, imagine this is their first introduction to to voting. This is what they're growing up with that becomes sort of the norm. So now they're looking at it. I remember, being a kid and going in these really long lines and dreading it, and now, you're flipping that image on its head. So you can go on November 6th, parties at the polls. It's all over. You can use a hashtag Baltimore Votes and go to baltimorevotes.org to find out where these parties are. Thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate it.
We have 80 parties scheduled now.
My goodness. I love it. I love it. Definitely check out that website. We'll be right back with more Midday Maryland right after this. Stay tuned.